What is going on, guys? Wise here, coming to you with the recap of one of the last wars for 2.0. This was our CWL Invite Week 2 matchup against Cold September. Sorry, my bad. Week 3 matchup. I was away actually last week, getting that North Remembers recap actually uploaded today from week 2. A lot going on actually, though. We matched up against Cold September. I do want to say they sort of have been going through some changes within the clan, and they needed to bolster their roster. So I know they just joined forces with the likes of WHF and a little bit, again, I can't necessarily confirm exact details, but as well, they're getting a little bit of spillover from War Whales as well, just to sort of fill them back up and get them going. So unfortunately for us, we got to feel the wrath of that, their very first matchup after doing so. So it was a tough one. We're disappointed in ourselves. We're gonna hop over. We did take a 110 to 108 loss. Anytime we see a score when our opponent goes up, only puts up 110, that's an extremely winnable war for us. And we basically threw this one away, unfortunately. Had extreme struggles, 10 versus 11 for some reason. Usually that's one of our strong points. Our 9s at one point were doing great. I think we had 16 attacks at one point for 6 bases, and we went 6 for 16. So that isn't ideal, and didn't end up with really very many scouts. I think we only had 4 scouts that we sent up early. So we had a lot of unscouted 10s up there. Didn't have extra Town Hall 10 attacks because of all the attacks we were using versus their 11s. And it ended up being our ultimate demise. We couldn't put up the 10 versus 10 triple. So that sucks. But congrats, Cold September, putting up a 110-star victory. Pretty sure you're glad that you came away with the W on that one. So much respect over to that family. You guys are great. As you can see, still left that number 1 on the board. I don't know what it is. Or was, I should say. If you come over here, sorry, my screen's in the way, I know that. We're gonna put this up to the top. So we used 5 on that town, on the number 1. Didn't even get it. Used 5 in the number 5 and finally got it. Oh, recap juice. So, is what it is. We're not happy with it. We are taking every measure possible to move forward. But what I was speaking of at the beginning of the video, there's a lot going on, because as a lot of you probably know, Beast Mode did receive a ban for having one of their longtime members caught modding. Now, again, this didn't just start in week 2. Clearly, something fishy was going on versus us. We only lost to Beast Mode by 1 star. So even if one attack was even practiced, not necessarily, I don't know what the details are and all the slang and whatnot, but you've got to think, if even one attack was modded, we only lost by 1 star, and that could have been the difference. So what I believe the finalized statement from the CWL admins is, the loss will be taking Beast Mode's place in the Invite League, and 2.0 and Guantanamo Bay are both being given the option to do rematches against the lost. I think that's unfortunately, it's not fair, I don't think, for us, because putting up, coming within 1 star of a clan that probably had a guy who was putting in practice on some burner accounts or whatnot. I think that technically should be a victory for us. However, bringing the lost in sort of after a few weeks into the season, trying to catch them up, this is probably the only way they could fairly do it for the lost. So I sort of understand their decision. It sucks for us, unfortunately, but yeah. So now we got to play again. We got to redo our matchup versus them. So we'll see how that goes. I've definitely seen them war. We definitely are going to have to put up a better than a 108 to make sure that we come away with that victory. So there is a good chance here. We could start this season off 2-1, which would be fantastic, because we got War Whales next week. That is going to be a tough as nails matchup for us. We want to definitely put up, something like a 113 or 114 to even keep it respectable. Just knowing the War Whales, I know they're going to definitely cash in on us. So we're going to do our best to give them a good fight. Anyhow, let's just go ahead and continue to check out the map. We're going to fly through this, and then I'm going to actually take a quick pause before I jump into the recaps, because I do want to make sure that my voice is all working. I did sort of do some upgrades to my system, hoping things run smoother, and I just don't have any audio issues. Got a nice version of Windows 10 Pro. got it. It is a fully registered version though, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, I guess we'll check it out. So one little silver lining in this war is we had an 80% performance from our Town Hall 11s. And keep in mind, almost every base that they got that 80% performance on was unscouted. I think at least 6 or 7 of the Town Hall 10s they 3-starred were all fresh hits. So awesome job by them. They made the war respectable for us. Like I said, if we had been able to clear up those 9s with at least 5 or 6 attacks remaining, get those scouts in, try and secure some 2-stars so we could really go for some pure triple attempts on the 10s. Yeah, and the wasting far too many attacks on the 11s ended up being our demise. So overall, though, we did not need to use any 10 versus 9 bullies, so that's always good. Even though, like I had mentioned, at one point we were 16 attacks left for 6 bases only, and somehow didn't get any scouts out of that. So it kind of sucks, but like I said, it is what it is. So anyhow, I'm going to take a quick pause. I'm going to leave it right at the bottom here, and I'll be right back. Just want to confirm a few things. Okay, so we're back. Everything looks good. So we're going to move on. I got a handful of these Town Hall 9 attacks I want to show you. Like I said, we just could not get it done upstairs. Not really necessarily our 10's fault. We did have our struggles versus our 11s, was left short on 10 attacks. We had a few bases. We were, 97% on the verge of cracking these 10s. If we had a couple more Town Hall 10 hits, I'm pretty confident we would have came away with at least 1 or 2. But we did not. So let's, I'm going to start right at the bottom here. I think I got a few down here. Now, primarily one of the first things I noticed is quite a few witch slap attacks. Now, a lot of guys aren't super comfortable with this attack because it is fairly unpredictable at times. You can only predict so much. You can only predict exactly what your witches are going to do, where they're going to wander compared to their skellies, which is really how the witches stay alive. But you're going to see Laz come in here. He had a 6-pack this war. You're really getting it done for us. These witches, going right in at things like these wizard towers, they're A-okay. This wizard tower does not stand a chance. Those healers keeping them up, no problem. Same thing on the other side. They have those mortars to deal with, but no big deal. Drop a whiz to help out as well. Everything's moving into the core. Clan Castle's getting taken care of. Poisons are down. Both those jumps really unlocking a huge section of the core of this base with really only this sort of back 12 to 3 section he's got to worry about. Everything's going down nicely. Bowlers are being preserved. Don't get in the way of that bomb tower, which is perfect. I think he's got a couple bowlers still going in there. Queen stepping up, helping out from behind. Even got the witches in there, a couple of them helping out. There's just skeletons all over this base now at this point. And as you can see, Queen's going to step up, take care of this Expo in one moment. It's really the only major threat left. There's a little couple cannons here at 9 o'clock he's got to deal with, but got so many skeletons. As soon as that mortar, as soon as this wizard tower goes down, there goes all the splash damage that's on board. Definitely, there's far too many witches for this base to deal with, and it's going to be a treat in the bag for my man Laz. Boom, boom, boom. Down goes that mortar. Down goes that cannon. Couple builder's huts. See you later. There is 3. Good job, my friends. I got to get better lighting in here. I'm going to get a white light to help out a little bit, but yeah. Anyhow, 38 Bucko. Bring in, this is another very primarily used attack. Actually saw quite a few less Lalos. It's still, obviously, it's a very predominant attack, but I'm finding guys really opting towards getting this huge push, using these sometimes three golems, sometimes just 2 golems, but basically using the 3 golems with the double jump to get into a huge piece of this base and use those golems to tank for the hogs as he works the hogs in from the outside, using only 1 heal spell for them. So as you can see, jump spell is down. Everything's going to start moving on in right towards that queen. King is locked on. He's going to smack her down. Smack, smack, and dead. Down goes that defensive queen. Bowler pathing is going to be clear. Going to walk right into this long hallway. He's got another jump spell. He's going to unlock the rest of this base with. Clan Castle does come out and end up locking onto that golem, but no big deal. Very patient on that poison. Gets it down at the perfect time. Queen locks on those defensive CC troops, and down they go. Bowlers are going to be A-okay working in through this core. Defensive King locks on to the bowlers, unfortunately, but they're going to smack it down in seconds. I think he only lost 1 or 2 there. No big deal. Nice and patient now with the hog deployment as well. Few on each defense, right? not really caring if a few of them sort of pitter out. So he knows eventually there's going to be a handful of them left to take care of these. Look at that bomb triggered by only like 1 or 2 hogs with a sliver of health. So as you can see, most of them pittered out, but he's got 4, 5, I think, left. They're going to take care of this archer tower. Down it goes, and then work their way to this very low health Tesla over there. Fortunately, doesn't get there in time to protect that wizard, but he does not need it because he's got the queen doing cleanup, has a hog and 2 wizards in the bag to also help with the cleanup. Gets one on that builder's hut. Nice awareness. Bucko absolutely is going to come away with 3-star on this one. Blam, down goes the trash. Hit that queen ability for fun. That is a tree in the bag. Good job, man. What's next? 36. Dally boy. Remember a long time ago, Dally was in another clan, and he was starting to do a few little recaps for his old clan. I had no idea who he was, but he had somehow contacted me on Labs, showing me his channel. I went and watched his first video. The beginning of his first video, he shotguns a beer. I was like, that guy is awesome. And then he ends up at 2.0, so that's freaking awesome as well. So love this guy. Dally boy, you're awesome. Oh, I got to show this part of the attack because it's very important. Triggers all those Teslas. Look at that quad Tesla. Let's just get a rage and drop a handful of balloons. What does he drop there? 5 balloons, I think. Take care of that, no problem. Pull up that CC. Poison is down. Gets those heroes in suicide style now. Poison does work on the minions, no problem. Just really needs to take care of that defensive queen. Down she goes. Baby Drag's in there helping out as well, which is nice. It's going to get a little bit of value. Lock onto that clan castle. Take care of that high hit point stuff. Helping the queen out as well. So it comes to Lalo. First couple hounds come in. Right at this first air defense there. Nice little haste right on top of that expo. Wants it to go down very quickly. Another haste getting things in. Just wants to start moving everything towards this core. And sort of at this point, this section of Lalo is done. I'll just really wanted to get that air defense down and create a nice sort of counterclockwise rotation for the rest of his balloons. One of those balloons targeted that archer tower, but they did not. So it gets that haste down real quick to make sure that mortar goes down. Everything moving towards this archer tower and these very, very close air defenses now. Really, they're going to go bing bang to air defense number 2 and now air defense number 3. Oh, they go to the cross or expo first. So he gets that heal spell down, right? That wizard tower is doing work while the balloons slowly make their way over to that air defense number 3. This air defense sort of wreaking havoc at this point. Does not lock onto that hound. Takes care of a few balloons first, but no big deal. Got the heal spell down. It's got a few more balloons. Finally gets that hound to pop just in time because down goes air defense number 4. Has just enough with a ton of cleanup troops moving around the outside. Arch tower on that lone army camp in the corner. No big deal for my man Dally. I wish I had a bearded shotgun for you right now, my man. Although it is like not even noon. I'm starting a new job today. Which inadvertently should, not that I chose the job to accommodate this, but it looks like the hours are going to be a lot more clash friendly in my life, which is fucking awesome. So looking forward to that. We'll see how it goes. Got a lot of new things on the horizon. So anyhow, move it on up. I think we're going to skip a few of these. A lot of stone bolos and a lot of witch slap attacks, actually. Most of these guys, I like to show, I generally don't like to show more than at least like 2 of the same attack, especially in Town Online. It gets a little redundant. But I also like to show all the guys who had 6-packs, and all the guys who had 6-packs use mostly witch slap. So you're going to see a few of these in here. I think next one on the list was Kinger going in on Bex. So I like the use of the 4 Valks here. This was a little bit different. This is the main, I think the only Lalo. No, I just showed a Lalo by Bucko. But anyways, I like the use of the 4 Valks here. You're going to see the funnel get created with the baby dragons here. Sort of a natural funnel now going. Whenever you create kind of a V shape, it can have its pros and cons. One of the cons is it's sort of a natural funnel to lead troops right to your base, right? When you have sort of outside compartments like this, it kind of forces the troops to go around, where here, if you just take those outer few buildings out, everything's going to go right in. As you can see, these Valks are in there helping the king out, helping that king stay alive. Poison's down. No big deal for the his heroes. Getting pretty good value. You know, instead of bringing a golem, he brings the 4 Valks. The Valks really help take down that the town hall very quickly. Help bust into this base, keep this queen alive for a very long time. She's going to step up and take care of that air defense here in 1 moment. Down it goes. Going to get the cannon and the sweeper as well here. Down goes the cannon. Oh, there we go. See the Valks, they busted a hole in that wall, let that queen in. It also gives access to the defensive queen here. I don't think he really cared too much about the defensive queen, but ends up getting her nonetheless. Maybe he did. I think maybe he expected his queen to pick her off on the way there on the side, but no big deal. He's got haste now in, 4 or 5 balloons coming in on each of those defenses. Up here, gets that rage down very quickly, and it does not stand a chance. 5, 6 balloons going in on 2 Teslas and 2 Wizard Towers. Those go down instantly. Get on over to that Expo. Cannon's about to go down. Really needs to get that last air defense to go down. Look at this, though. Still has almost 2 full health hounds coming into that 9 o'clock air defense. That's obviously not ideal. I think he was planning on getting a little more damage incoming on those lava hounds, but it doesn't really matter. He's got far too many balloons. His only concern would be cleanup at this point, but he's got everything now at the 9 o'clock. He's got a bunch of cleanups, pups on the 12 o'clock, working down. Queen working up to them from 3. Definitely going to be a tree in the bag here from a man king. Very nice, my friend. Smash it. All right, and then moving on up, going in on you. Such a troll name. Change your name, you. No one knows who you are. So another Witch Slap attack here. Very interesting base. I think it's actually very Witch Slap friendly. Got a lot of the splash defense, all accessible to these witches, which again, as long as they're sort of encountering, my only concern would have been the queen, but gets this kill squad in very quickly to take care of that defensive queen. So this little group of witches can pretty much walk from 3 to 6 unscathed, because with the healers, really this wizard tower, it's trying, like it's taking out skellies by the bunch, but it's just far too much. You're going to see sort of the same thing on the other side. These mortars, they don't stand a chance to these witches under heals. So as long as these bowlers and king and queen work through this core, smashing all this stuff along the way, the witches are going to take care of the outsides, no problem whatsoever. Even with this Tesla farm in the outside, the healers are far too much. Fortunately, this does lose a couple healers to that air defense there. In fact, I think you lose all the healers to the air defense there. Yep. No, not quite. It survives with a sliver of health because the queen steps up, takes care of it. Queen is still working on through that core of that base. But as you can see, like, look at this wizard tower. It's trying so hard. It's like, just die. And I think they even stay. Look, they step on a bomb. Nah, no big deal. Healers are going to bring them right back up. Witches are going to continue working through this base, continue working through that T farm. Queen steps up. I think she's going to end up pittering out here in a moment to that cannon fire, but no big deal. Witches are going to finish taking care of business here. Down it goes. That's a tree in the bag for Bell. I think that was a 6-pack for Bell, too, this war as well. Job, girl. Oh, it's 23. Lay, another 6-pack champ. Bring the Stone Hobo with 3 balloons. I like the use of the 3 balloons. You're going to see sort of he saves them for the end of the raid just to help pick off a defense that poses a threat. Nice bunch of wizards in behind the golem there, just trying to get that funnel created on that side. Same thing at the 12 o'clock. So he's going to really just get a big, you see, he sees these double layer of buildings with these high hit points. He's got to get a ton of wizards in there. Good recognition on that lay. So the funnel at 3 is created. Funnel at 9 is pretty much created. And he goes in and gets that next golem in. Nice little clean wall break there. Gets that test in. Opens up this very small compartment, very convenient compartment. It leads right to the core. Jump's going to let access to the rest of the base with all defenses. No meat other than this clan castle. It is all defenses. So as long as the queen, bowlers, and king go in, which they are following those golems right on in, I'm going to take that jump spell and get all juicy defenses as they go. Let's go ahead and get that rage spell down. Bowlers delay for that 1 second. They do take some bomb damage, but no big deal. Queen's going to step up, help things out. She gets benefit from that rage as well. Boom, down goes the bomb tower. Bombs on the other side go off, so he's got a lot of safety now for his hogs. Going to start sprinkling them in now from the sort of 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock position. Just going to get this clockwise rotation. Everything moving down to these last few remaining defenses. In come these balloons. As soon as that air defense goes down, gets these couple balloons in on that archer tower. Archer tower is going to go down, let these hogs immediately jump to some, or they're going to have to work their way out of the mortar, but no big deal. Down goes the mortar. And he's got 2 hogs still. He ends up dropping. That's what he does. Drops the hogs. Now the hogs in blue and can go on to cleanup duty. Still has a swag heel in the bag here. Just got a matter of cleanup at this point. Still has a hog as well. I believe he's going to drop on one of these builder sets. Yeah, drops it down to the 6 o'clock builder set. Just going to take care of the rest of the trash buildings. That is a tree star in the bag from a man Lay. Blam, blam, blam. With the swag heel in the middle. Nice job, man. Right. I think I got one more from my man Ryan. This guy's awesome. Ryan just recently came back. He left for a little bit. He is from somewhere in Europe, I'm not sure. So it's sort of unfortunate. I feel bad for a lot of our European crew because they definitely are the minority in the clan. Obviously, in no negative way whatsoever, but what sucks for them is the times where the clan is most active is definitely not the times where they're on. So sometimes when they're online, it feels a little lonely. I think that's sort of where Ryan was at. He's feeling a little lonely with a lot of the lack of Euro crew that we have. Although we do have, although it is a smaller core, it's an awesome core. We appreciate those guys. Love having them. So nice having Ryan back. He's an awesome base builder, an awesome attacker. Usually the best base builders are some of the best attackers because they understand what's going to happen when things enter your base. So he uses the witch slap here. I think he uses the idea that sort of this Batman style base. Very common. I mean, the way the defenses inside are set up are always going to be different, but very common pathing. He knows he's going to just things are just going to walk in and around. If you can get that core of troops into these 2 jump spells, which he does, get the golems in there to do tanking. Queen's going to help mop up with the along help with the bowlers. He's got a baby D in even on this on the expo in this strange compartment, sort of protecting these witches on the outside, which is nice. Look at these witches just battle through this wizard tower. They do not give a shit whatsoever. He's got tons of skellies, everything moving up around the 3 o'clock section now. Queen is still in there helping out, about to go down to a mortar of all things, unfortunately. Down she goes, but no big deal. Got a wizard and way too many witches along with a baby dragon, no air defense. This base is done for. Not a fan of this Batman. I call it the Batman base because you'll see it. Obviously, it's a lot less. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not set up as well when you come across it in just farming or whatever, but it is a very similar style base. So, I mean, people have that, at least sort of the similar wall structure to do in friendly challenges and stuff. So anyhow, Ryan, nice job, my friend. Coming away with the treat, using the witch slap once again. So as you can see, a little mix of everything, but we had our doubts about witch slap. It's, again, sort of unpredictable. You have to really understand exactly what your troops are going to do. You also need to be very prepared to adjust your attack on the fly. I've talked about the similarities to it with Veeler. One of my things about why I feel I was a great Veeler attacker compared to a lot of people who didn't seem to understand it is it's a very on the fly adjustment attack. You have to use your baby dragons you're bringing or whatever it is that you're going to help with the cleanup, drop them at the right spots, help protect your troops, help keep everything sort of moving through the base, make sure your spell placement's on, and usually you'll end up coming away with the tree star. So anyhow, cold September. Love you guys. Thanks for the matchup. Fortunately, we can put up a little bit better competition. What a horrible war for us. Is what it is, though. Hats off to your guys, Town Hall 11s, because they really stuck it to us, I'll tell you that much. But we're not happy, and when we're not happy, we're really putting our minds to it this week. And again, like I said, we got War Whales next week, so we're hoping to put up a much better than 108 score. Otherwise, it's going to be embarrassing for us. So we'll see. Until then, guys, that'll do it for your Wisdom from Wiser. Just trying to help to bag that next tree star. Till then, I'm out.